hashtag boys, hashtag girls, hashtag selfie, hashtag bite me, hashtag dance, hashtag happy, hashtag smile, hashtag candy, hashtag friends, hashtag yum, hashtag summertime, hashtag fun, hashtag sex, hashtag now, hashtag up, hashtag down, 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 get down. beautiful, hashtag life, hashtag boys, hashtag girls, hashtag selfie, hashtag bite me, hashtag dance, hashtag happy, hashtag smile, hashtag candy, hashtag friends, hashtag yum, hashtag summertime, hashtag fun, hashtag sex, hashtag sound, hashtag up, hashtag down, 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 down. beautiful, hashtag life, hashtag boy, hashtag girl, hashtag selfie, hashtag bite me, hashtag dance, hashtag happy, hashtag smile, hashtag candy, hashtag friends, hashtag young, hashtag summertime, hashtag fun, hashtag